here we go again. Hey, look, the chocolate baby, that not wrong, go tell your friend. Yes, I'm putting my family first, just like I should. Protect your life, your mother, watch Beleaf and fatherhood.
Welcome back to Beleaf and Fatherhood. My name is Beleaf. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Happy Father's Day to all my fathers out there who are working hard, trying, striving, nurturing, and caring for their families. We appreciate you. We see you. And I'm right there with you. So I just want to thank all my fathers out there for going hard. This channel is dedicated to you, to your family, and to the focus on family. Real quick, I know you guys have been waiting for this. This is a big moment. It's been months since we've been waiting. Yvette's been pregnant forever. And I'm so excited to let you know that our baby is not here yet. That ain't our baby. See, you hopped into the comments. You came in here, you saw that baby on that thumbnail, you was like, oh my gosh, it's the baby. It's not our baby. But there is a baby here. And I want to tell you whose baby is here. But first I want to preface it and tell you why a baby is even here. So we were watching this YouTube video and this young lady was giving birth. Now she was having her 7th child, and Theo was telling us how bad he wants to be a father. And the conversation he had, it was like I started to see my legacy start to pass on. And it was a very honest moment. I just want to share this moment with you because it brings everything into perspective.
Yeah, I want you to tell your dad what you just told me.
I said to Mom that I'm so glad I'm not a big sister, that I'm going to go to Mom so I don't have to be pregnant. So I don't have to get a baby because I know I will hurt and I will get blood. And that's why I'm a boy. I'm so glad I'm a boy so I can turn into a dad. That's super cool.
And you said all this while watching what? Maisley.
Well, Theo, are you going to be there for your wife when your wife has a baby?
Yes. No.
Your wife is going to have to go through it.
No.
So you're going to have to hold her hand. You're going to have to cheer her on.
And I have to give her some water if she needs some. If my wife needs anything, I'll just give her it.
Wait a minute. Anything?
Yeah. Yeah.
You gonna let your wife get whatever she wants?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally, yeah. Yeah. Just like you.
I don't give my wife whatever she wants.
Yeah. That's why you're not being nice.
I'm not being nice?
Yeah.
You can't have anything, man. You gotta...
Too bad you're my son.
Too bad that I'm gonna be cool and nice.
He's broke.
Like, yeah.
But do you want to be a daddy?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm going to be a great father.
You're going to be a great father?
How do you know how to be a great father?
Because I saw Dad. I saw Dad on the video. Dad.
Because you have a great father?
Yes. You're gonna cry.
Stop it!
Mom!
You have a great father?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I did good. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Happy Father's Day to all the great fathers out there. You are appreciated. You are recognized. Don't matter if you get socks for Father's Day. Doesn't matter if you get an apron or something for the grill. You just appreciate yourself. Go and do something for you. All right, dads out there, I'm gonna go do something for me.
Where are you going to?
I'm just leaving. Don't ask me where I'm going. Okay. Okay, so now that I own a actual home that has like a piece of property, I have to mow the lawn. Now, I haven't mowed a lawn since I was 20.
I went to Lowe's to get the lawnmower, mowed my lawn, then edged up the contour with the weed whacker. I'm a seed packer, reaping, sowing everything. I think I'm flowing, everything in sync, and I will never bow to no one. I'm a comma and a colon, not the function, but the punctuation. Please pause before you make assumptions. Here's the explanation. I got a baby on the way, but how much babies is too many? And I ain't got a whole lot of time, but how much time is much plenty? I got a baby on the way.
One of the conversations I've been having with myself is, you know, I don't want any more children after this baby comes. You know, I have no desire to have more kids, but my wife is actually interested in possibly having another kid or adopting or something like that. So I kind of want to get some professional advice from some people I really respect. You know what? I think it would only make sense if you guys could talk to him as well. Hey Joe, do you know how to mow lawn?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
So you mow the grass at your house?
I don't like to, but I try not to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. What up, Mama Maze?
Hi. Just chilling here in your brand new house.
Hey. So Maisley is a family that we've done life together for a short period of time, but they're friends. They have a YouTube channel with over 1 million subscribers, and they are a family of 9. The two of them, they have 6 kids. They are a blended family and an interracial family, and they just invited their new baby, who is unnamed, into this world. And I've been dying to ask them this question: how many kids is too many kids?
What were they saying?
They were asking me to have a conversation with you about fatherhood.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You want to go do that?
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. Thanks for letting me use your baby for clickbait.
You're welcome. Never again, never again. It's a bullet.
Next time you see a baby in a thumbnail, it'll be a real baby, okay? That's the deal. It'll be our baby. Different kids, right? And they're different nationalities, and they have different, they're already different. Like, all kids are different. Like, I have the same kids from the same woman, but they're all extremely different, you know what I'm saying? But it's like a versatility in your parenting. Do you feel like you have to stay the same? Or does your parenting change toward each kid?
In terms of personalities or in terms of?
Yeah, in terms of it all. It has to be some type of complexity.
Well, in terms of like them being different races, no. I treat them all the same. I raise them like black kids. That's what I raise them like a black mother would raise her children. Yeah. That's the only way I know how, in terms of like whatever their races are, you know what I mean? Yeah. But in terms of their personalities, I raise them very differently. Because some children are super sensitive, hypersensitive, and other children are not like that, you know, not. So, you know, there's things that there's a way I could parent Amaya because she's super mature and, you know, she understands things, and I could probably be more like strict or whatever with her. Not strict, but more. She can handle more of a parenting style where it's like this, that. Yeah. While like another child is very sensitive, so I have to be like, okay, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? And start asking questions, and you know. How did that make you feel? Right. All that stuff. Yeah. Like, oh, okay, and then even I have to be really sensitive to their needs, to what they're saying. You know, and be like, oh, okay, come give me a hug. You know. And do you have to force it? Do you have to force that? I don't think it's forced.
I don't think it's forced either. I think you're just kind of tapping into a different part of your parenting, or part of your personality. Yeah. My mom did she do that with us when we were younger? That's why I try to think. She kind of did, so I don't feel like it's that different. But I treat them very much the same and very much different. So yeah. But then I have one child. Just some children just off the wall. Yeah. And you literally can't say anything. Nothing that you do is gonna make her do what you want her to do. You literally just leave her alone and she's perfectly fine. That's how she acts. She's very much to herself, you know, and as long as she just can be to herself and do the things that she wants to do, she's good. But when you try to force her to do something, that's when she kind of like, you know what I mean, it backfires. Yeah. So if I tell her to like clean your room, she'll clean on her own time. Eventually she'll clean it. But there's no point in me trying to force her to do something that I know she wants to do right then and making a whole big deal out of it. While another child, if I told them to clean their room, they didn't do it, I would start trying to enforce it right away. Move that. But in terms of nationalities or something, I don't feel like I raise them any different. I feel like all my children are black. That's how I see them as. I guess other people don't see that way, but to me,
I see them as all little black children. I mean, I understand that.
Yeah, buddy.
Like, she's Korean or whatever, but because I raised them so similarly, it doesn't seem different to me.
Hurry.
Yeah. And so how do you fit in with all this, Joe? Because you joined a blended family, and then, you know, interracial family. So, like, trying to balance all of, like, I mean, you had to kind of come in and adjust and, like, become a part of Elena's world. You know what I'm saying? How's that been for you?
Well, I would say I'm constantly adjusting, constantly learning. So I'm always humbled to recognize how little I know about parenting and about being a father, but at the same time, like, I think once you embrace the role of being a parent and being a father, like, I guess you don't really see it as adjustment. You don't really see being qualified to be a father and stuff like that. I think it's just now you're just it is marriage. It is parenting. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
I guess I don't really identify with, like, my lack of my lack of understanding with children or my lack of whatever. It's just, you know, this is our relationship now. This is our family, our marriage. You know, it's the present.
Yeah.
And at the same time, though, we've had our challenges or whatever, you know. I mean, coming into a blended family, my children were young, you know, so they didn't really fully, they weren't like as old as they are now. Like Amaya was like maybe 7 or something like that.
Yeah.
She was the oldest one, so she understood. But the rest of them were really kind of open to it, you know, just because they were younger. But now I think that our issue is like getting to spend enough time with the family. You know, like we do a very poor job, I think, of spending time together as a family without the stresses of work or whatever else everyday things, right?
Yeah, it's a weird dynamic when it comes to, like.
Right, bro. Be all done bouncing the ball, please. Over here, bounce it over there. Because it's too loud, buddy. I'm sorry, but
yeah, it's really weird in terms of like working from home, because I would assume that if you work from home you can spend more time with the children and stuff like that, but then you recognize that, like, the children need you. You know, they need you. They need a father. They need a mother. They need structure. And then when you pass it off to someone else, I mean, sometimes it brings in the wrong energy, you know, and it has to be us. It has to be us who parent the children. And I mean, you know, as we employ like more people, like we recognize that, you know, we have to be there, you know.
What is it that you were saying about, like, you being like, you know, like my children have 2 dads essentially, so like I don't have to worry about them having 2 moms, you know.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because they live with me, you know. So, but they essentially have 2 fathers, and like how your role plays as a father versus
Joey,
your
Joey,
role.
share, baby. Share. You guys are sharing, okay? You guys take care of the baby together.
Yeah.
Okay?
One person change the diaper and the other person feed it, okay?
Trying to figure out how to be mothers to this one. Trying to figure out how to be a blended family.
Bo, be nice.
But yeah, like how, like, your position as not their biological father and having their biological father, I know you were saying to me, like, you felt like, I don't know, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yeah, like, so, like, towards the beginning of our relationship, I felt like I didn't know what my role was when it came to, like, disciplining the children or, like, essentially, like, leading the children. I didn't know where my place was. And I guess I didn't understand what my role and identity was. So I'm recognizing that don't know. I mean, I'm recognizing that it doesn't really matter what role I play. I just have to be the best that I can be in the house that we're in.
Yeah.
And just trying to be the best influence that I can.
And what is your like? And so, I feel like the step parent ministry is like very underserved and comes with very little advice.
Yeah.
And so, what are some of your? Because there is a whole aspect of like, do I get involved with disciplining the kids? Do I, you know, like, so what is some of your advice for anybody who is a step parent? You know what I mean? Who's like coming in and trying to fulfill a role, but not necessarily knowing where they fit in, because the longer you take to adjust and figure out where you fit in, the more time the kids can assume that I'll figure this out for you. You know what I'm saying? You don't do this, you don't do that, you know?
Yeah, I think, you know, one of the big things is probably being able to communicate with Elena, like how I feel about those things. I told her early on, and even till now, sometimes I tell her like, you know, like, I'm not sure how I should be handling this situation. You know, just being transparent and, you know, about how I feel about this space. Because Elena is essentially the person in the middle that is, you know, communicating with the other fathers and stuff like that. So I don't have I don't have a resolution in terms of that.
But you do struggle with those feelings over and over and over again.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All the time. So you're at least an expert on how to feel, or how you're feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, just being transparent and communicating with your significant other. Yeah.
And in return, the significant other needs to give you a safe space to communicate those things.
Yeah. And I think the more that I can communicate with her about those feelings, or even those feelings of like inadequacy, is important. Or at least that's important for me.
Yeah.
What about you?
From your perspective. I'm not really sure. Well,
yeah, I'm curious to how you feel like about where step parents stand. You know what I'm saying? Because you have ran a tight ship and have been, and here comes Joe, and you're like, great, you're here. Now get with the program. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, every single day it's kind of like a dealing with that type of issue. Like, I may think the kids can do something one way, he may think it's the other way, you know what I mean? But the good thing is that this is how we basically do it. Before we got married, we talked about what our morals were and like how we wanted to raise children and what we thought was like a good thing or a bad thing. Like, do the kids, this is something dumb, but do they go outside and do their homework when they come from school, or do they go outside and play first and then do their homework later, you know? And I think like we kind of talked about it beforehand, and we generally had the same type of mindset on how to raise children because we were kind of raised similarly.
Yeah.
So there's not a huge difference in opinion, but when things do happen, usually it was like, okay, my rules are my rules because they've been my kids, you know? But so usually I handle the discipline, but also we have house rules. Like, these are the house rules. Everybody's got to follow them. Yeah. You know, and I think us sitting down and making those rules, I don't know if we ever formally did it, but we did it in a way like we believe these things, so kind of we know what's right and wrong. But the kids kind of know, but there are times where he has a different parenting style or does something different that I wouldn't want. And usually, what usually happens then?
Well, usually we have an argument. That's what usually happens.
Usually we don't have an argument.
Yeah, but the thing is that we recognize that. The thing is that we recognize that when we peel back the layers of like, okay, there's parenting, there's like this, you know, being a father, mother. Like once we peel back all those roles and we identify ourselves as Christians and like the foundations of our relationship, our marriage, then it becomes a whole lot more easier to identify like where we are. We recognize that we're on the same team, we're on the same page, and then we start rebuilding
from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do a lot of that. Like we might talk for, I think the number one thing, like you said, is like communication. Like we may talk about it, and then eventually, like you said, it will get to something about God, then we'll both agree, and then we'll build it back up from there. Okay, now if we both believe that X, Y, and Z, then let's put this into place. And then we're in a state of agreement, because when you're underneath, I feel like when you're underneath the same faith, when you're underneath God, like, the agreement, you know what I mean?
I mean, yes, yeah, but at the same time, also having, I would say having compassion for each other is important, because like having compassion means also having patience for one another when it comes to when you disagree with another person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that compassion only comes from Jesus.
Yeah, well, it comes from a place that, you know, goes beyond like we have to recognize, okay, like I don't understand you.
You okay?
Are you okay? I'm sorry, that scared me. Her face hit there.
Ryan, you can't be so loud, okay? Thank you, buddy.
I think the number, from my experience, I know, I'm gonna cut you off. From my last relationship to now, I noticed that one of the factors just with parenting children in general is that we didn't have the same background and beliefs in how to raise children, and it's just hard. You can never get along.
So were all the other relationships non-believers?
I don't know.
Okay.
I honestly don't know.
That was very safe. That's that what is it? It was good PR. Right there.
I literally honestly don't know, because sometimes people say they are and they aren't.
Oh, okay.
You know, so, but I know the first I don't want to say her name. I'm trying to say how if I say her name.
One of them.
One of them is we grew up the same way. The other one we grew up totally different, and so it just didn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work in parenting. And now, well, let me say this, because one of the other things is not just how we parent, but if you have another parent on the outside parenting your children in a different way, and then they come home every week acting crazy, that's what happens in our house. Every single time that they come back from the other parent's house, they're acting off the walls because they have different rules there.
Well, off the walls in terms of like they might be singing songs that we don't play in our house, you know, or they're watching cartoons, or like when you say, all right, let's put away our shoes or something like that, like they just throw their shoes down, or they just have this very like you know, rebellious type of attitude. This is my house, I can do whatever I want. And one of the things that we had to do, instead of me trying to go to the other parent and fixing it, just like trusting that God is gonna, if we're doing what we're supposed to be doing as parents, that.
Where you going, Joe? You ain't nothing in there. Good job, right, Bo, being a good helper.
Yeah.
Say thank you, Sienna.
Oh my God. You're not gonna push that off there, are you?
That's what he does.
So he's getting too comfortable now.
Yeah, but if we're
okay.
If we're we try to come in.
Shh, Ryan, get out.
You said holy.
Come on, Sienna.
Dad.
You're gonna stay inside?
You can hear something?
Yeah,
yes?
Somebody talking on the
No, you're
intercom in
coming.
the cart.
I know you're
coming.
No, not. Wait,
Watch your fingers.
Sorry.
I saw it. I saw it.
I was just saying, like, coming in agreements with a lot of the blended family thing is also about co-parenting and making a good relationship with the other people. So one of the ways is I try not to be, or whatever, intrusive on what the other parent is doing. Let them do whatever they want to do, and then we just pray that what we're doing is the right thing, and that it will end up okay, you know?
Yeah, I mean, right. So that kind of goes back to like how I felt about what role like I'm supposed to be playing in terms of being like the third father, kind of thing.
Second, third. Are you a daddy? Are you the uncle?
Like what do they call me? And you know what I mean. But I think like what Elena was saying is just trying to be the more influential parent. So
yeah, I think that's super important, and and also.
Girls not sharing.
Okay, Ryan, thank you for the report.
And also, you're.
Naya, relax. You'll get the other baby. Get out of here.
I don't want to get this deep into it, what I'm about to say, so I'm not gonna say it. I don't want to get that deep.
You don't want to get that. So this is probably most of it's going on Patreon. So this is like a exclusive.
I didn't want to get that deep, but I was gonna say you're the guy. When I was talking to Joe, it's like I don't know where I fit in, and like I want to be. He's like he told me he feels responsible to be that father for them, to actually fulfill that role. And I told him, you know, you don't have to. That's not your role. You don't have to be.
She's okay.
You don't have to be their father because they have fathers, no matter what.
Help her up.
She's okay. Oh, there she go.
Yeah. And so how did that make him feel? Like,
once I told him he didn't need to be the father.
Yeah.
Well, what I mean by that is like they have dads.
Right.
You know, no matter how much they are. I mean, my children's dad are involved in their life, but no matter how much they weren't, they have dads. So he can't do that, but he can be a male influence. That's something different, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it gave me a lot. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
It gave me a lot of perspective in terms of like. Yeah, like what am I here for? Like what am I doing with them? Because like she was saying, is like it's not really my responsibility to be their father per se, but just generally being a positive influence.
I guess we're not saying that right. It's not like not being you are like a dad, but I mean like feeling the responsibility of like if these kids don't turn out right, it's my fault, you know?
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Yeah.
But he does have responsibilities that the other dads don't have. I mean, you live with them. So one of the things I was saying is like you're the sole person who teaches them about how a Christian husband, a husband. First of all, you're the example of the husband.
So how women are supposed to be treated.
Right. Yeah.
And ultimately, I mean, but at the same time, I feel like when they are gonna get into the point where they start to want to like date, or when they're looking for prospects of like, when they get into the the time when they start wanting to like date or wanting to look into prospects of like finding someone for marriage and stuff like that, like who are they gonna think about? Like what type of person are they gonna think about? And that's a whole nother conversation there.
So you're basically it's gonna be they dad or me or something like that. You know?
Yeah, but
I think you just have to be well, one of the people, but the other person is great. So it's just about being the bigger influence.
Yeah.
Just about being the bigger influence, and I think that also starts with like your influence in other ways, like. You're the one who takes them to church, you know what I mean? You're the one who takes them to church. You're the one who drives them around everywhere to all their classes. You're the person who they see. You're there. So you're that role model or father.
The more dutiful person.
I mean, that's like the dad who's actually there, you know? And I'm not saying that their dads don't want to be there. They can't, Like I'm with somebody else now. You can't be driving around here and there, and they have other families themselves. And so also one of the other things is those fathers are depending on him to take care of their children. Because you're with them all the time.
Go ahead.
I wasn't really going to say anything.
I was going to ask one more question. So I think one of the fears, because I'm done after this, what I'm saying? I've been saying it, you know what I mean? Y'all been looking at me like, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all don't believe me, but I think I'm done. And one of the reasons is because I have this, I was talking to this lady, we were interviewing this lady one time, and she had 6 kids, and we interviewed her and her children. And all of her children.
Are you talking about someone you know?
Yeah. And so one of the questions we asked them was like, what's your favorite memory of your mom? And the same answer, everyone gave the same exact answer. The answer was, hey, I need you guys to be quiet, please. The answer was when she spent time with me one-on-one. It didn't happen a lot, but when it did, it was my favorite thing. And I'm like, well, how much time and mind you, I had seasons of husbands passing away, husbands leaving her, husbands beating her. Like, it was a lot of stuff. So she had a long time where it was just her. So how is she supposed to differentiate all that time? You know what I mean? So my curiosity is, is there a point, you know what I mean? My question is there a point where it's like, okay, we can't handle this many children? You know what I mean?
So what's the question?
The question is there a point where like there's too many children, like we can't handle this many children or whatever, or like
because I feel like I'm maxed out at 4. I feel like I'm maxed out at 3, but I'm gonna push it to 4 because I don't got a choice. But I feel like I'm almost maxed out. You know, but I do wonder for you. Do you think that there is a limit? You know what I mean?
I definitely. My answer is no, but
okay.
I don't think there's a limit because I believe that. There's a reason. I just think like, you know, God made women, male, however many kids you can have. Of course you can take care of them all. Of course they can be loved by all. I believe that's
and also
it can happen with 20 kids. They get older. I mean, you're just taking care of kids the whole time. It's not. You have 20 kids. One of them is 20, right? So I just believe it can be done. For my own personal self, I think that I was able to spend a lot of quality time with my oldest 3 children when I was younger. You know, I was a lot younger then, and we were able to spend a lot of time together. And now that there are more children, I feel like when you don't prioritize your children, they can slip away. You know what I mean? But I think if you make it a priority, it can work 100%. You know, like there's little things that I do all the time to spend one-on-one. Me and Kylie just went to go get our nails done. We went got ice cream. You know, it took 2 hours to stay out of a day or something like that. Other things that my mom did with me, letting them sleep in the bed with me at night or something like that, or taking them on car rides, just one-on-one. Hey, only you come with me to the store, you know, and then we get to spend that time together. So I think that definitely it can be overloading if you don't prioritize it and you're not. In the society we live in, it's way more difficult where we live at than if you're somewhere else where people aren't on the go all the time and, you know what I mean, trying to do this and that. But yeah, I mean, you can have enough time for your children, 100%. Why not?
For each kid,
of course.
Individually?
It doesn't need to be done like, hey, we're gonna spend the whole entire day together necessarily, you know. Not that can't be it, but I believe in like those small moments where you spend time together, one-on-one. That's what I like.
No milk? Milk.
And,
also I think that
hold on, one more thing. Children don't need a whole bunch. Like you said, that lady said it was when they spent one-on-one time with each other. They don't need a whole bunch of it. It's not they're looking to be underneath your skin 24/7. You know what I mean? They just want to feel like they're special, that they're recognized. They want to know that they're heard, you know, and that they're important. Just like anyone else. You want to feel important, accepted, like you're special. That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
If you plan on having them. Now, if you don't want to do that, then don't do that. Have your 1 kid. Have your 4 kids.
Have my 4 kids.
Yeah, no, that's not a little bit.
But also, I think that, you know, God gives you the capacity. As long as you acknowledge God in a situation, I definitely believe that God provides you with the capacity that you need to push through this situation or this part of your life.
I agree. God is the creator. When you're talking about people being made, He's the creator. He made them. How is God gonna make someone with the expectation that they're not able to be cared for? You know what I mean? Yeah. So, in that way, of course.
That's good.
Yeah. But also, it's not really even about us. You know what I mean? Like, this is not about us being the best parents ever or us having the best children ever. It's not even about that. You know what I mean? Like, our purpose as Christians, you know, as long as that is our foundation, the purpose is not revolved around us being parents or our children. You know, it's about discipleship, ministry, and you know, a God-centered life.
I think it's all about like serving, and I
you think it's about serving?
Yeah, I think it's about serving, and being a parent really puts you in a position of serving and sacrifice, and you just start to understand a lot more. I think it's beneficial, you know, to be a parent. You start understanding things a lot more, and I just think God just gives us exactly what we need.
Yeah.
Milk.
Because you know in the Bible, some people couldn't have babies.
Yeah.
But then when God said they could have a baby, they could. So
Yes.
what's different than from that today than it is? In the Bible, it says like God withheld that person from having children for whatever reason. What's the difference from that to nowadays when people can't have children? You know? So I think there's a lot to say about that. You know? So.
Yeah.
Obviously, we feel overwhelmed if we have another kid. I could be sad, you know, whatever. But in the end, when I look back, literally, we had Audrey thinking like, how am I going to afford this? And next year, we're making 3 times as much money. You know what I'm saying? So, just like you got into this house or whatever.
Yeah.
So, we can't really say like, oh, I can't have more kids. That's all I can deal with.
I just miss my wife. I just miss my wife. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. You know, I tell Elena that too. I tell her, you know, like I miss her, even though she's standing in front of me, or we spent the whole day together. Like sometimes, like we're constantly in one role, one mode, I guess.
Dad, mom, rule.
Yeah. Dad, mom, you know, business partner.
That's what we see each other as, you know, instead of like.
Yeah, you get lost a little bit.
I'm like, what happened to you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like sometimes you look at each other in the face and you're like, oh shoot, you're here.
Yeah.
And I'm here. And nobody else is here.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that what you're saying about you can get so lost so quick. When I met you, I was in mother mode, and then you took me out of mom mode, and I put you in the dad mode. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
He was like, oh, all you do is sit in the house, man. You be the mother. Come on, come out. Now look at it. Back to where I started from, right?
Well,
something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah,
but.
Gotta make time. I don't know how you gonna make time. I wouldn't know how you gonna make time.
Yeah, but at the same time,
for kids or not.
Yeah, but at the same time, like I do feel like that we're being more effective with our faith. You know, like before, I feel like we just weren't. I believe that we were. You know, we've been Christians. I mean, we've also.
So silly. Go over there and don't push her off of the bridge.
They're having a hard time trying to parent this child together. Whose child is it?
I guess for me, like I'm gonna turn the camera now. So I guess for me, it reminds me of like capacity. So you know, like before, like time capacity. Like I never thought I had time for you know, to create or like to make stuff or like do music.
Yeah.
But I actually became more fruitful once I had kids, and actually I had 2 kids. You know what I mean? Because I realized that time was something I had to take advantage of. You know, and I didn't know what my time capacity. Like I never thought I had time, you know, to create or like to make stuff or like do music.
Yeah.
But I actually became more fruitful once I had kids, and actually I had 2 kids. You know what I mean? Because I realized that time was something I had to take advantage of. You know, and yeah, so I never knew my true capacity because I never stretched it. And so as you guys are having more kids, or you have kids now, you had another one. Your capacity is being stretched, but you're also knowing that there are really no limits to where you need to go. You know what I mean? So I think that's beautiful, and that kind of gives me peace with the 4.
Now it is. Yeah, but at the same time, I do believe that the devil is working. You know.
Oh yeah.
Whenever you're in those positions of like trying to break through, I definitely believe that Satan is at work, because I heard this quote. It went, if the devil can't stop you, he'll shove you.
Shove you.
He'll shove you in the right direction.
Wow. So too soon.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, I've been recognizing that in my life, at least, you know, like having ambitions, setting goals, but then at the same time, like being, what is this? Being too ambitious, and then I guess essentially that could be the spirit that Satan wants you to stay in, you know, being too ambitious, you know, thinking about your own self, your own family, and just being too self-centered, and losing your identity with Christ. So that's a whole nother thing, though.
Yeah.
I had to cut this conversation down a lot to make it in this video. This was over 40 minutes of conversation that Joe and Elena and I had discussing interracial relationships, discussing what it's like to be a blended family, and then his feelings as a stepfather and where does he fit into the whole space. It was a really great conversation. If you're interested in it, make sure you sign up for Patreon, and all my Patreon supporters, you get that thing for free right now. So go check that out. And yeah, protect your life, keep your network popping. Thank you so much for watching. If you're fortunate enough to be doing life with someone else, make sure you watch this video with them, and if they're not around, share it with them. All right, y'all, see y'all next time. Peace.